This is the Ancient Texan. Well, I forgot to take my clothes out of the washer and put them in the dryer, so my sheets and pillowcases, etc., are not ready. So here I am, coming to you from my bed. The world right now is kind of messed up. Russia, what can I say about that? They've gone ballistic. We kind of bullied them into it. We pushed the bully too many times and finally punched somebody. Ukraine. China's dealing with a whole truckload of economic problems and still dealing with the pandemic because their vaccine doesn't work and they've got a zero COVID policy, which doesn't quite work either. I've got a real estate sector that makes up 35% of their economy that's trying to falter. They're having trouble with their biggest market, the U.S. Got a lot of internal strife. They got a shortage of labor because their population's collapsing because of the one-child deal. They're still trying to control everything. Here at home, Facebook and other social media things have run amuck and helped polarize Americans. And we're anywhere from the progressives, far left, to the far right, which are pretty close to fascist. Not close, they just are. We can't talk to half of the world. We know Facebook is bad and we keep going there like it's an addiction. Well, it might be, mightn't it? Instagram is destroying the way women in particular see themselves. They're not beautiful enough. Twitter seems to be kind of a hate machine. And yet, all these technology companies, we kind of worship them, and we worship the rich people they produce. They've become our gods, our religion. They've become our value system. We let them set the values. Think about that. If they've become our religion, our cult, and our political parties have become our cult, our religion, one or both for everybody, or most of us. What does that say about our values as Americans? We complain about inflation instead of the problems behind inflation. We complain about high food prices, high oil prices. Why is that happening? Because someone's out there killing people, murdering them, and we're complaining about the oil prices, food prices. Do you know how sick that is? Like you hear somebody down the street that's got smallpox, and you complain about the inconvenience because they've got their house quarantined and you have to go around the block instead of going your normal way to work. It's something like we're complaining about something that's so inconsequential compared to the root causes of what's going on. We care and complain more about inflation than we do Putin. We're more angry with the other political party than we are Putin. How can that make any sense? And right now we blame Biden because he's in control for energy prices. Well, we've been cutting back on energy investments a long time. That's been the choice of the American people. Now you're getting what you asked for. Food prices. We bullied Russia. Not that Russia isn't pretty bad on his own account, but we didn't keep the promises to Russia that we made not to bring NATO closer to their borders. But what's the promise these days? If our religion are the tech companies, the rich people, our tribe, our political tribe, if that's our religion, what does that say about our values? Look at how the two sides talk to each other. I grew up in a fundamentalist religion and don't think it worked out real well for me. But the values I learned there were some that were really screwball and cultish. I mean, the whole idea that there's a guy in the sky we're modeled after him, or he's modeled after us, or something. That's kind of a crazy concept. And then he sends his son down to get killed and nailed up on a cross. I don't know what that's got to do with my sin. I mean, the whole concept is just really weird, and we act like that's like logical and normal and real. But despite all that, I was taught to love my neighbor and be honest, and a lot of good values came out of that. Good, strong work ethic. But what exactly are the values that come out of the tech companies? If you get rich and powerful, you control the world. You get to avoid taxes, offshore accounts. Don't pay your way to the American government. Have people in other countries make your stuff so you don't have to worry about treating laborers right or the environmental aspects of what they're doing. You just have to make sure it's cheap to be made so you can make a lot more money and rise to the top. That's the values. So when we see things going to hell in a basket, isn't it kind of the result of our new set of values? There's nothing actually very profound about why things are going to hell in a basket. Life, I believe, kind of evolves from the values of the majority. And if the values of the majority go too far south, bad stuff happens. So I suggest we get out there and start teaching a new religion, a new set of values. Take a little exception with the way people treat each other, and take exceptions with the way you treat others on the internet. Start preaching and acting out a new religion. If you keep accepting the religion that's there and acting angry at the other side and being part of that whole environment, and if you can't go there on Facebook or Twitter and be a shining example of a value system that you think can save the world, then don't go there. Do better if you just don't join the two fighting packs of dogs. Just stay on the sidelines, stay out of it. If you can go there and be an example, not say unkind words to anybody, don't try to change the world by your own self-righteousness. Kind of like the way I'm preaching at you right now. It's kind of a irony that most of your preaching, our preaching, to be successful has to be done by our actions and the way we carry things out and the way we treat each other, even the way we treat mostly the way we treat strangers and people that kind of rub us the wrong way. It's real easy to treat someone good that thinks like you, looks like you, likes you. It's a little bit harder to show a little love and compassion for the guy that's not so friendly to you. But if we've got any hope in pulling our country and the world back from a brink of some really bad stuff that's going on at the moment, starts with a little compassion and love to the next guy that says something nasty to you. Think about that. Is the world doomed or not, if that's the criteria? Anyway, this is your Ancient Texan just asking you to look at your current religion, clean it up a little bit, and go proselyte some people. Have a good one. Namaste.